Hey there everyone, welcome back to another episode of Platinum Achievements. Today's date at the time of recording is 2/18. It's almost 8 p.m., so we'll see if this goes up today. More than likely, it'll be going up on the 19th of Monday. I know, I'm sorry, the weekend got away from me. There's a lot going on, and by a lot, I don't remember exactly what. I was probably just procrastinating, but that's okay. We're not here to talk about my problems. We're here to talk about trophies, achievements, and game news, and all the fun stuff. Alright, currently my gamer score is at 675,490, and that growth is thanks to the completion of Omega Strikers, the anime air hockey game. I'll put up a trailer right now because the gameplay is not that great because you spent a lot of time waiting to get into a game. I also made some progress in Dead Rising 2 off the record, and that's pretty much it since the last episode on the Xbox side. Now over to my PlayStation trophies. I'm sitting pretty at 96 platinum, 633 gold, 849 silver, and 2052 bronze. And that growth is from playing a bunch of Alan Wake. That's where I got my platinum, the PS4 version. I'll dive a little more into that later. I got a little annoyed with it because of game crashings. And then I started work on my PS4 Ultimate Edition of Control. Because we're on a Remedy tear, because I want to play Alan Wake 2 real bad, but I told myself I can't buy that game until I finish off all the Remedy games that I have in my backlog. So right now it's just Control, Ultimate on PS4, and Alan Wake Remastered on PS4. And let's begin with the biggest of news. I'm 32 now. I'm old. I can feel death's sweet embrace coming closer and closer. We don't think about it too much because then I go into an existential spiral, and we can't have that now, can we? Speaking of Death's Embrace, let's talk about the game that I wanted to pick up but couldn't pick up, and that's Banishers. Is it Ghosts of New Eden, I believe? Came out February 13th, aka my 32nd birthday. By some miracle, it snowed on my birthday. And it was enough snow where I didn't have to feel guilty about taking off of work. So I had the day to myself. The snow actually melted around midday. So I went out on an excursion. I wanted to pick the game up because it came out on my birthday. And I kind of like when games do that sometimes on occasion, especially if it's a game I'm interested in. So I went out. Sammy was going down for his nap, right? And I went to the first GameStop. And guess what? They didn't have it. Well, I think they did have it, but on the PS5. I wanted it on the Xbox. I probably should have just got it on the PS5. But anyway, so then I went around the corner to my local Best Buy, and guess what? Not only did they not have it, they got rid of the Blu-ray shelf. What a bunch of busters, you know what I'm saying? So then I went a few miles down the road to the second GameStop, and guess what? They didn't have it there either. Upsetting. I know. Is it my fault because I didn't pre-order the game guaranteeing that they would at least get mailed one copy? Probably. But I'm not at fault here, guys. It's not my fault. So then, what did we do? We went a few more miles down the road and we went to Target. And guess what was at Target? That's right. A lot of games that weren't Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. Again, we're disappointed. But then we went a few more miles down the road to the local Walmart, and guess what? Wasn't there either. That's right, Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. It's disappointing for sure. But all that said, while I try to vamp here real quick, guess who does have Banishers Ghosts of New Eden? That is right, Amazon. So what am I currently doing? Even though I already went on an excursion day, but man, I should have bought it. Oh, crap! A 4K went up in price. But yeah, I'm adding Banishers. I'm adding a book, a comic book of sorts, I'm going to add a Blu-ray to my cart. And that's going to be my little birthday treat to myself. All right, I placed my order. It took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do. So we got Banishers on there. So that's coming on Tuesday, along with my copy of Peacemaker on Blu-ray, Season 1, and DC vs. Vampires All Out War Part 2 because I have Part 1 already. And I used some Amazon credits, so it wasn't as expensive as I thought. Happy birthday, me. You did it. As for the gameplay this week, I decided that with all this talk about the Xbox ecosystem, the exclusives, everything like that, and because this franchise was listed as a potential, what do we call it, trader, going over to the PlayStation or the Nintendos, Gears of War 3, one of my all-time favorite games. I absolutely love it. It's probably, it could be top 10 games for me. I absolutely love the Gears franchise, and Gears 3 was the best of the Gears franchise. So many great game modes. The Horde was pretty good. I think they added Beast mode. The campaign was a lot of fun. They added like an arcade mode. So much fun. So many good memories. Absolutely love Gears of War 3. And it's not coming to other platforms. Suck it. Play it on Xbox or don't play it nowhere. All right. Now that that's all taken care of, let's get on to the big news of the week. And I was actually at a doctor's appointment for my eyes because I'm going a little bit of that blind way. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little blind boy. So I had to go to a specialist in Philly. And did a lot of Pokemon going. That was pretty fun. But while I was there, I was able to listen in between tests to the Microsoft, or I guess Xbox business event, whatever they were calling it. They basically did like a 20-minute podcast. And we covered this a little last week. Oh man, I'm gassy. Typical, right? We talked about some of my, or I guess I talked about it. You listened, hopefully. I talked about some of my, what's the phrase? Theories about what was going to actually happen. And some of them were true, some of them were wrong, but the fact of the fact is that these rumors were blown sky high and way out of proportion. They're not getting Gears. They're not getting Halo. People were freaking out for no reason. Indiana Jones and Starfield not going multi-plat. We'll cover that in a second because they brought that up specifically. And man, people were freaking out like the sky was falling in the gaming community, especially on the Xbox side. And it's not. I mean, there's some changes to their plans and decisions have been made, but it doesn't seem all that negative. They said they were planning to do an announcement, but that these leaks, or I believe is, what do they call them in here? Unforeseen news stories caused them to step up their response. It's a pretty funny way they phrased it. But yeah, crazy. It is not as doom and gloom as people think. Could it lead to some things that people were speculating? Of course. But as for right now, it's not that bad. It's not even bad. It's pretty good for everyone involved. And you know, this could be a slippery slope, if some have said, and could lead to other things, but let's get into all that. The Xbox news event happened on the 15th of February. And my buddy in one of my Discords, Slugger, he actually compiled a list that I just completely ripped off and kind of edited a little bit. So thank you, Slugger. Basically a full, complete breakdown. I'm not going to go over every point just because I don't feel like I really need to here. But I'm going to hit the highlights. So, decisions were made with long-term health of Xbox in mind, building the best platform, reaching most players. Obviously, every business is going to do that. They want to have their product succeed. And Xbox is staying in the console game. Of course, they're making choices to further the life of the Xbox ecosystem. Obviously. And from what they're planning today and what they've been saying, it seems like they're on track to do that. They haven't really faltered as far as I'm concerned. Sure, they've released a couple. What the hell is that? Oh, that's the light. They've released a couple meh games. I don't know. I'm seeing a weird light in my phone. Oh no, it's my cursor. My bad. So yeah, they want to. They've been making decisions They've been making decisions for the long term to further the health of the Xbox, build the best platform, and reach the most players. Everything that they've been doing so far, they've been pretty much doing that, or they've been trying to. You know, some games come out, they don't hit Redfall, but other games have been pretty good for them. They originally planned the show to start with the Activision Blizzard King games and just some discussion around that. And some discussion about exclusivity, but the unforeseen news caused them to change that up. Honestly, I really hope it's a case of they themselves leaked some bogus information to kind of weed out the moles. I think Nintendo did this a few years ago. I think that'd be funny if they were doing that here too. Smart business to do that. They announced, and by they I mean Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and I think his name's Matt Booty. I think is his name. He's like, I think he's the head of some of the creative choices at like all the studios, I guess. Big job. But yeah, 4 games are coming to other consoles. They're not naming the games or the consoles just yet because there are, for one, probably other deals in place with upcoming events for the other platforms. But also they said they want to let the developers and the teams behind those games make their own decision about when to announce that. Solid. Good choice. The speculation, though, for the games. For one, it's not Starfield. They came right out and said that. Starfield's not going multi-plat. Indiana Jones isn't going multi-platform. Could they eventually? Sure, but as of right now, and that's all you can do with these types of business plans, that's not the plan for now. Landscape changes, plans change. You have to, as a business like this, you can't just dig your heels in the dirt and just be like, I said I'm not doing it, I'm not gonna do it. You have to adapt if you want to survive. And Xbox has done, for all its problems, they've done an incredible job of adapting since the Xbox One launch presentation. I just heard Sammy cry, so let's check on the boy real quick. This guy standing up in his damn crib. All right, I'm gonna go get Sam real quick. I'll be back. All right, let's see. Where were we? Phil mentioned that he believes that console exclusives going forward like 5-10 years, I think he said, that exclusives are going to become like a smaller and smaller part of the industry. I could see that. The exclusives are kind of in a weird nebulous place right now where it's really they're only really talking about consoles. Like, a lot of PlayStation games are on PC, or some. Pretty much every Xbox game goes to PC. But as far as the console space itself, that's really where you see the exclusivity. What am I trying to scroll with this? Get my wires crossed. So the games that were chosen, there's 4 of them that are going to be going over to the other platforms. They're over a year old, community driven, and as they've said, have reached their potential on Xbox and PC. And they have like some criteria. Another one is that they're franchises that they want to continue to invest in. So what that could mean is utilizing the platforms like PlayStation or PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, wherever else, using, their sales and an increase in community in those games to, generate interest in, potential follow-ups of those IP, sequels, or maybe even just further interest in the studio, give them more support. It's all good there. The games that are speculated currently, pretty heavily speculated. Some of them are borderline confirmed. Hi-Fi Rush, which I think there were already leaks of outfits for other systems within the game. So, Hi-Fi Rush, cool. I haven't played it yet. I want to. It's on my list of Game Pass games to play. But that can only be a good thing. To take a game that you feel like has reached its potential and put it in other places to find more success. Like, that's only a good thing. There's also Pentiment. Again, a game I want to play, but just haven't gotten around to it. I plan on playing actually both of these this year at some point. But Pentiment, similar case, it's found its potential on Xbox apparently, and they want to give it a second life. Awesome. The 2 community games that people are anticipating, Grounded, haven't played that, don't really feel like playing it personally. And another one that's not really my cup of tea, but Sea of Thieves. And that can only be good things, really. Those are big community games, and you need more community to support that game. And if that means going to other platforms, so be it. This isn't the first time Microsoft has put their games on other platforms. So the people that are still freaking out about this, very weird. Like, you have Minecraft Legends already there. Minecraft was already multi-platform, but after they bought it, they kept it multi-platform going to other systems. And this type of move is only a good thing for some studios, some games, some fans. And yeah, this is just, as long as it's these games, it's all good news. Man, Sam is not having bedtime right now. Oh, they made a point to say that just because these 4 games are going over, that this isn't a signal that everything is going to other platforms. And while I think that's the current plan, if they see a lot of success with this, you can bet your bottom last sand dollar that more games in the future will be making these kinds of jumps. I'm going through the notes. I remember these from the show, but a lot of these I don't really feel like need to be discussed. They've committed to more hardware. They've said that there's going to be some sort of hardware coming out or being talked about. I think they specifically said like more news about other hardware coming out in the fall. What I think that will be is the rumored like Fire Stick or whatever for Game Pass you could plug into your TV and play. What I'm really hoping for is, and I know this was like rumored, but they also said they weren't going to do it, but plans change. I really hope it's like a dedicated Switch-like handheld. I would love it if we could get something like that plays really well, can play the games locally. I don't know how the cloud streaming would work because I think you need like a cell service in order to do that, or just Wi-Fi maybe. It'd be cool if they did that, but if you can just play the games or download them and have them natively on the handheld, oh, that'd be so cool. I would take that thing to work every day. Play it on my breaks. They recommitted to all first-party games going to Game Pass. This is actually something I think they should have strategically walked back. I don't think it was great for a while, but if they need to make more money and they have games like Call of Duty and other big third-party, historically third-party games, I really think that what they should have done was just announce, hey, it worked for a while. We have to pivot our strategy. Some games, first party, will be coming day one, and that they'll specify it. I think they really should have done that. But if they're smarter people than me, if they think this is viable, then keep going. I will say I have substantially reduced the amount of first-party Xbox games that I have bought because I've been playing them on Game Pass. I probably would have bought Gears 4 and 5 by now, but they also gave them away on gold at some point. And Halo multiplayer was free. I'm actually pretty surprised, not surprised, I guess. Halo multiplayer, just the multiplayer itself, I think that could have been a good one to announce going over to like a PlayStation or maybe a Nintendo, maybe. But part of me is glad they didn't. It's more of the prestige game. They want to keep it on their system. And I mean, it's also on PC, so they're getting a lot of community there. And the game's having a bit of a renaissance now. I could see them at some point putting the multiplayer for Halo Infinite on the other systems, but keeping the actual campaign Xbox only, or Xbox ecosystem only. You know what I mean? They also went on to say that Game Pass will only be available on Xbox. I think that speaks to them trying to put it on PlayStation trying to put it on Nintendo. I guess those deals fell through. I think there's some miscommunication, or not miscommunication, misinterpretation from some people I've seen online, some podcasts, where they feel like they're specifically talking about the Xbox itself, where I just read this as Game Pass will only be available on the Xbox ecosystem. Now, wherever you decide to access the Xbox ecosystem, that's on you. But that's really what I took from it. They then reiterated some of the dedication to customer-friendly practices like playing anywhere, cross-play, cross-save, and how those are fundamental to what they're doing in the future. They then went on to talk about some ABK games are going to be coming to Game Pass starting in March with Diablo 4. Pretty cool. I'm not a big Diablo guy, but that's awesome. Now I'm just going to rattle through the list and talk about what I feel stands out. People going to play Xbox multiple places. I already do that. I play it on my phone at work sometimes. I haven't so much recently. I have it on my PC for when I go to visit like my dad. I have my Series X upstairs right next to my PS5. Guys, we can all get along. We can be citizens of both nations. We don't have to fight it out in the streets. But then I have my an Xbox One X downstairs, and the only reason I really haven't upgraded that to like a Series S or anything is because we use it downstairs to watch Blu-rays, and I love watching Blu-rays. Oh my god! Amanda got me Oppenheimer on 4K for my birthday. Oh boy! And then, like I said, I just ordered Peacemaker. Did I watch any Blu-rays this weekend? I watched a little tangent. Watched the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 1, which is how they're going to wrap up their latest animated universe. Pretty good. A little confusing, but it all came together at the end. And I'm excited for the second and third part. Apparently Kevin Conroy's last performance is actually going to be in, I believe it's the third part, which is pretty cool. I know people were freaking out about that with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That's going to be Kevin Conroy's last performance. Then, it wasn't. So, calm down. All right. With the acquisition of ABK, Xbox has become the largest publisher on PlayStation, Switch, and mobile, which is technically true. That's crazy. They talked about growth for a little bit, and that hardware is a critical component of things, but they've accepted it's not the only thing. Cool. 2023 was an amazing year for games, but the industry didn't grow. They said the industry will struggle without growth, and they also addressed, I feel like as well as they could have in this type of presentation, that the job eliminations that came up, the ones that they were directly involved with, I know there was some, there were job eliminations planned when ABK was still its own entity and, in the process of Microsoft buying them. But they were saying that the jobs that they had to eliminate were about sustainability for the Xbox brand, and Xbox was not alone in such moves. I think that's them addressing that ABK was already planning on downsizing a lot of jobs. They just had to, downsize a few more. It sucks. It's the only. It was placed in a weird way, and then they went in to address that. I think they're up to like 34 million in subscribers on Game Pass, which would show growth, but they said there wasn't really a lot of growth. So, weird way to phrase it and place some of these messages together. Yeah, I think these notes are in order. I'm literally just taking them as Slugger wrote them. So if you got a problem with it, go beat up Slugger. They talk about, like I addressed earlier, Minecraft, but also Call of Duty as two examples of growing game communities that are larger than a single platform. So you want to have them on PlayStation. You want to have at least Minecraft on Nintendo. All right, let's see. Where were we before I was so rudely interrupted by Amanda? They went on to say that consoles represent a development target. It's flagship of the Xbox brand, of course. That means that they're basically still committed to the Xbox itself. Hopefully it doesn't go all digital. I want a place to play my Blu-rays without having to buy a Blu-ray player. yeah, the hardware announcements coming in holiday. I wonder if that's just announcements or if that's going to be actual releases of hardware that we discussed already. And they did the typical thing where they talk about the next generation, the roadmap, focused on delivering largest technical leap. That's what everyone tries to do. It's nothing really new. More teraflops, please. They're looking at longevity and software preservation, paramount for future hardware designs. So what I hope that means is that they'll always have a disk drive for daddy to play his games or Blu-rays, because I need that. And I also like that they address that the digital libraries are a focus as well. They're going to keep digital libraries, clearly, as long as they're physically possible. And the last little tidbit I want to give you guys is that they're going to do a showcase in June, around like E3 time or whatever that's called now. Is it game? I don't even know what Jeff Keighley's thing is. GameCon, whatever the fuck it's called. But yeah, they're going to have for lack of a better term, they're going to have an E3 showcase. That's pretty cool. I like their E3 showcases. I really liked them when they were in person, though. I always enjoyed that type of presentation compared to how Sony would do the presentation. Especially the last live one they did, where it was like they did like a musical number and announced a game, but then they made everyone get up and go to a different tent or some shit. That was weird. But no, I love when Xbox goes on the stage and there's a million screens and there's a Ferrari and then Keanu Reeves jumps out. That's pretty cool. And that was it for the Xbox event. It was 20 minutes. I'll link that below for you guys to take a look yourself. Pretty good. Yeah, I think it was 22 minutes, short little podcast format. I think it was a good format for this type of update. And I enjoyed listening to it while I had my blind boy tests going on. All right, now let's bring it back. No more news today. Let's talk about how to tackle your backlog. And this could be for, your Blu-rays like me, or for, I guess, more topically for you and me, video games. And let's see. I wrote down a couple different ways that I like to tackle my backlog. And hopefully this will give you guys some inspiration to tackle your own and how to do it. So first of all, do your best to focus on one game at a time. I have been game jumping so much recently. It's not good for progress. And I was trying to finish Alan Wake Remastered on the PS4. I got the platinum in the PS4 version, so I had to do the DLCs. And the DLCs are so hard because of the achievements to beat the DLC levels without dying. Man, I can't do it. And then I got close, and then I screwed myself because I got greedy, and then I got cocky again on my second attempt, so I died there because a monster truck ran me over. And then, my game crashed twice. So I was like, screw it. I'm going to go play another Remedy game that I have to tackle, and that's Control. And I've been burning through that. I've recorded some footage for a later episode, but since this is my third or fourth time playing through that game, you better believe I threw on invincibility and one-shot kills. I feel like a god in that game. So good. The next tool that I use to help me pick my backlog of games if I'm really stumped and I just can't decide is, and there's a million different versions of these you can find on. I have an app that I bought the ad-free version of for a couple bucks because it's a pretty good app. It just do a roulette selector. I think there's some websites for it, but I input what games are on essentially my backlog, or a couple of them. I think I do 10 in each category. And then I hit that spin button if I'm really stumped, and then it picks a game for me, and then I do that. So do that. Do a roulette. It's fun too. The next way that I try to decide when I'm going to play my backlog and make sure I'm not all over the place is I just have a buddy pick a game for me, or in a couple of the Discords I'm in, we post a short list of what we're kind of in the mood for, and then everyone kind of votes on it. So that helps too. Just make sure that you don't put anything in there that's ridiculously hard to complete, or that you have a sadistic buddy. That's no fun. And the last tip on how to beat your backlog, it's a pretty simple one. It's a hard one to stick to. I just got PlayStation credit, so I'm not going to stick to it myself. And as I said earlier, I just picked up Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. Don't buy games. Just don't buy any more games. It's so simple. It just takes self-control. And I know we don't have that, especially me. But just try it a little. Try to have a little self-control. Just don't buy those games. And with that, we're coming to the ending of another episode. And let me recommend you a game. South Park Stick of Truth. A lot of fun. Very fun turn-based RPG in the South Park world. If you love the show, you're going to love that game. And it has a sequel, The Fractured But Whole. Honestly, there's some physical copies of The Fractured But Whole that you can find where it'll come with a code for the Stick of Truth. So if you can get both at the same time, definitely do that. That's what I did. But Stick of Truth, loads of fun. A great little game. It's South Park, super inappropriate. Don't play it around people that you don't want to see you playing such a game. If I didn't already have these games platinum, or I guess I haven't platinumed them. I haven't played them on PlayStation. I did, I think, both versions of Stick of Truth on the Xbox side, though. If Sammy was born, then Manta sure wouldn't have let me play it around him. That's for sure. Not with the stage of life he's in. And also for an upcoming game, South Park Snow Day. It's the third game in, I guess it's sort of like the New Kid trilogy. And it looks like it's a co-op. Shooter's not the wrong word, but maybe it's like a third-person shooter with abilities and things. So keep an eye out for that. I think it's only $30 too, which is good. I have it in one of my fantasy leagues. Amanda has it in the other fantasy league. So keep an eye out for that. Let's take a look at what the fantasy leagues are up to these days. I'm not going to talk about the trophy talk one. I'm going to talk about the more personal league with Amanda, my friend James, and my friend Dan. Currently, okay. I am currently in I'm projected third place. Currently in second place. Thanks to Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, I've got 11 points, which is nice. But like I said, that's second place because my buddy Dan chose Helldiver, so he's at 13. James got 9 points. Good for him. Oh, he got the 9 points because of Amanda. Oh, she's dead last too. Amanda decided in her infinite wisdom, she started out strong with Hollow Knight Silk Song, then Dragon's Dogma 2, chose South Park. Could be a good choice. I had chosen my other league. But then she chose Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and I don't know what possessed her to choose this one, but she chose Skull and Bones. So she's at -19, dead last. So I'm currently in second place. We're playing for $50. So hopefully I win, because that would be cool. And hopefully Amanda doesn't come in last. It's not looking great for her right now, but I really don't want to just have a wash. You know what I mean? I want someone else to give me the $50. Preferably James, because, Dan's going to be a dad soon, like me. And then he'll know my pain of not being able to play games all the time. And he's much more of a social butterfly. So it's going to hit him real hard. Okay, so that is another episode in the bag of Platinum Achievements. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, give the video a like, share it, ring that dumb little bell thing so that you're notified. Yeah, definitely share it with Game Buddy. And I said subscribe. Just run through the rigmarole in my head. Don't worry. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day. And keep on hunting, boys and girls. Bye. Not even the longest episode.